Welcome to another edition of Walking Through the Psalms. As the sun sets here in Geneva on the lake, I picked Psalm 20, which happens to be the next psalm, but it also is a fitting psalm because it talks about, in what is your hope? What are you trusting in for the things that cause you concern right now? Or what are you trusting in that you will have joy, that your dreams and your hopes will be fulfilled, that you won't finish or be overcome by your enemies or those things that you're afraid of? Well, that's what Psalms 20 is about. And it's not an apologetic work. It's not a theological treatise. It's a prayer of David that just goes to the source of all of our hope and all of our joy. And David does this in the form of a prayer. And he prays, in a sense, for us. He prays for those who believe in God. So listen to this word of the Lord from David in the human sphere, but the Holy Spirit inspiring him in a perfect and an infallible word from God that really is for all of us. It begins this way: May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob defend you. May he send you help from the sanctuary and strengthen you out of Zion. May he remember all your offerings and accept your burnt sacrifice. Well, we start off with with the Lord, with the name of God, the God of Jacob, sending you help from the sanctuary, strengthening you out of Zion, remembering your sacrifices. Obviously, we're in the temple in Jerusalem. We're in the place where God's people worship him. And David is hearkening to that God, praying to that God, saying, that one whom you worship, he's talking to a believer, he's talking to one who really knows the Lord. That God who you worship, may he answer you. The only God, the one whom we go to Jerusalem, the one whom we go up on Mount Zion, the one to whom we offer sacrifices, may he answer you in the name of trouble. May he defend you. Yes, the God of Jacob. And here he is, the Lord, L-O-R-D, the Tetragrammaton, the great name God, the only God, the God of Jacob. And may he remember all your offerings. You know, it's important that we really do worship God, that we make him the center of our lives. We ought not to expect God to help us if the only time we ever go to him is when we're not getting what we want here in this realm. God should be our goal and our joy here in this realm. And when he is, then we can look to him when things are not going well here. Verse 4, may he grant you according to your heart's desire. Well, again, a lot of people like that verse, right? People that don't know God, well, everybody wants their heart's desire. Well, David's talking about the God, or the person rather, who worships this God, whose desire is this God. That's what we saw in the first three verses. The Lord, the one who's in the temple, the one to whom you bring sacrifices. May he grant you, if that's who you are, according to your heart's desire. It doesn't mean, again, that you everything that you want, but if you want God most of all, may God give you himself and all the things in him that he promises us that are in him, life and everlasting life and all that goes with it. And fulfill all your purpose. You know, I've been reading philosophers. It's something that I try to do sometimes, to just say stay sharp and try to understand how people think the way they do in this world. And everybody talks about meaning and purpose. Everybody wants a purpose. Well, they have a purpose, and they want their purpose to be confirmed, that it's real, that it's important, that it really is good. But nobody wakes up and says, I want to do evil and do bad. They want their purpose to be important or impactful or long-lasting or worth remembering or something beyond just this world of matter. And it's not going to happen unless they know the Lord. And that's why they're running around looking, maybe this will be it, maybe that'll be it. Well, David's prayer is to God, for the believer. May he really and truly fulfill all your purpose. And again, if your heart's desire is him, he will do that. And then the psalm turns into praise. We will rejoice in your salvation, and in the name of our God, we will set up our banners. May the Lord fulfill all your petitions. This is prayer. May the Lord fulfill all your prayer. You can see this is a worshiper of God. This doesn't work for people who don't pray to God or who barely pray to God. Are you a person of prayer? Are you a person who loves the Lord? Then this psalm is for you. May the Lord fulfill all your petitions. What are you going to God for in prayer? I hope you are going to Him regularly. If you are, this psalm is a psalm of great confirmation and joy. God is going to fulfill all those petitions of those to whom come to Him as when He is their great desire, their greatest desire. Verse 6, now I know that the Lord saves His anointed. He will answer him from His holy heaven with the saving strength of His right hand. And of course, the anointed was the king, but ultimately the anointed is Christ. And here again, David talking about the Lord will save His anointed. He offers this as a prayer. May He answer him with the saving strength of His right hand. And of course, Christ is described as the right hand of God. And then the psalm finishes with, some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God. They have bowed down and fallen, but we have risen and stand upright. Again, we talk about what's your hope. Some trust in chariots and horses. Some trust in their money. Some trust in their looks. Some trust in their ability to talk themselves out of a situation. David says, we who believe in God, we trust in the name of the Lord our God. They will all, even if they haven't yet, he says it in the past tense, they have bowed down and fallen, but we have risen and stand upright. And we will all rise and we will all stand upright, and God will vindicate all those who really do hope in Him. The last verse, save, Lord. May the King answer us when we call. It seems to me David is talking about his King, the King who is in heaven, the King who, humanly speaking, hadn't been born yet when David penned these words, but David knew God was his King, and that somehow God was going to send that anointed one who was going to be his King through him someday, somehow. And that was the one to whom he was looking to. And that's the one that he tells us to look to the King who will answer us when we call, if we trust in Him, if we worship Him, if He really is our great hope and our delight.